If you've been calling yourself lazy lately, I want you to pause for a second. Because chances are you're not lazy at all. You're overloaded. And those two things get confused all the time. Laziness is easy to label. It sounds simple. It sounds like a character flaw. It gives us something to blame. But most people who think they're lazy are actually trying very hard mentally. They're just exhausted in a way rest doesn't fix. Chapter 1. What laziness actually looks like. Let's get clear on something. Lazy people don't usually feel guilty. They don't lie awake thinking about what they should be doing. They don't feel frustrated with themselves for not starting. They're comfortable not doing the thing. If you're uncomfortable, stressed, or ashamed about being unproductive, that's already a clue. Laziness doesn't feel heavy. Overload does. Chapter 2. What mental overload is. Mental overload happens when your brain is handling too many open loops at once. Constant decisions, unfinished tasks, emotional pressure, expectations from other people, expectations from yourself. None of these are dramatic on their own, but together they stack, and eventually your system hits a limit. Chapter 3. Why motivation disappears. Here's the part most people misunderstand. When you're overloaded, your brain doesn't push harder. It pulls the brakes. That looks like procrastination, scrolling, zoning out, avoiding simple tasks, feeling stuck. Not because you don't care, but because your nervous system is trying to prevent overload from turning into burnout. This isn't failure, it's protection. Chapter 4. Why just try harder makes it worse. Telling yourself to just focus when you're mentally overloaded is like telling a computer with too many tabs open to run faster. The system doesn't need pressure. It needs fewer inputs. More effort without relief often creates more shutdown, not more action. Chapter 5. Subtle signs you're overloaded. Mental overload doesn't always feel dramatic. It often looks like small tasks feeling strangely difficult, forgetting things you normally remember, starting things but not finishing, feeling busy but ineffective, wanting rest but feeling restless. None of that means you're incapable. It means your internal bandwidth is maxed out. Chapter 6. Compassion without complacency. This part matters. Self-compassion doesn't mean giving up. It means diagnosing the problem correctly. If you treat overload like laziness, you apply shame. And shame is not a fuel source. Clarity is. Chapter 7. What actually helps. What helps isn't motivation hacks. It's reduction. Things like fewer priorities, fewer shoulds, clearer boundaries, finishing one small thing instead of starting 10. Momentum returns after the system feels safe again, not before. Chapter 8. Gentle meaning. Sometimes overload isn't just about tasks. It's about carrying more than you're meant to. Roles, expectations, identities that no longer fit cleanly. When that happens, your system slows you down on purpose. Not to punish you, to force a recalibration. You're not lazy. You're responding to too much input without too little space. And once you stop fighting yourself, things usually start moving again, naturally. Start by being accurate instead of harsh. That alone reduces more weight than most productivity advice ever will. If this put words to something you've been struggling with, you can stay. And remember, you are guided. Bye.